Well, as we say in the military, no plan survives first contact. So that worked perfectly every time I tried it, but it's a very big video. So I have a little more for you later. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Chief Warrant Officer 4, Mark Burroughs, United States Army retired. Welcome to National Boot Camp. As you know, every mission in the military is governed by two things. One's the laws of war, the other one is rules of engagement. They define when we fight, how we fight, and the lines we will never, ever cross. Tonight, those actually are non-negotiable, by the way. We never cross over, and they apply to you as agents as well. Tonight, when we're going to go through this together, that our battlefield here doesn't involve actual weapons or combat. But make no mistake, the stakes are just as high here. Families are counting on you to protect their future, their children, their legacy. And just like in combat, there are rules we must live by if we're going to protect them with honor, integrity, and strength. So I'd like to walk you through the laws of armed conflict and the rules of engagement and how they apply to us, and what we can learn from the military here in our personal and professional lives. Number one, we're going to identify the mission clearly. So the rules of engagement say you're going to know the mission before launching. We never get in our vehicles, we never get in our helicopters or airplanes until we know exactly what the mission is. We rehearse it over and over again. Law of war says it has to have a military necessity. We don't just go out willy-nilly, we don't just attack targets for the heck of it. We have a specific purpose when we go out every single time. So in the military, that may be reconnaissance mission, humanitarian relief. It might be a movement to contact. It might be a max destruction mission. Depends on what the commander's job is. And we have mission statements. We have a task and purpose. And we have a commander's intent. The commander tells us exactly what he or she wants us to do. On order, Charlie Troop conducts movement to contact mission in order to identify the forward line of troops of the enemy. Now I know exactly what I have to do when we go out to find the enemy. So how does it apply here? Are you on a Medicare mission? Is it a final expense? Is it a mortgage protection? Why are you there? You have a reason, you have a purpose, and have you prepared for that mission? Do you know what you're doing? Are your contracts in order? Are your logins? Do you have everything in order to successfully succeed in that mission? And we also have here in the Alliance, we have mission statements, we have task and purpose, we have commander's intent. It's called the 8 Steps to Success. It's called the House of Values and Behaviors, the Circle of You. Andy has laid out a very clear and defined task and purpose and mission for us to follow. If you deviate, you will not be successful. Just like in the military. So that's number one. Number two, you must know your target. Friendly fire is called fratricide. It destabilizes units, it reduces morale, and it destroys our combat power. We become less effective. We have to know our target. We don't just fire blindly. Confirm your target. What is your target? Has it been defined for you? What are you looking for? The laws of war calls it distinction. We're distinguishing what is friend or foe, and if it needs to be taken out at all. So for here, what does that mean from us? We have to have positive ID of what we're doing. You get clear, defined rules from your chain of command. Our chain of command here is our upline. We call for instructions. As agents, we have to listen. You've got to know the real need before you blindly apply policies or targets on power on targets. What does that mean? So we have to ask and listen for what they want instead of just blindly throwing things on them. We have to get into their hearts and see exactly what the problem is. And we never, ever settle for the surfacey description or that false target on the surface. It's always something deeper. So we have to understand what is our mission and what are we trying to accomplish. We're going to protect the innocent at all costs. So in the military, that's often very hard to do when the enemy tries to embed themselves in the civilian population or use them as human shields. It happens in real life too. So we have to apply the role of engagement and laws of war to what we do here. We have to use proportionality. What does proportionality mean? If there's one person we're trying to take out, we don't use a 500-pound bomb. But when you're in there helping people in the house, what are you proportionally helping them with? Is it underkill? Is it overkill? You can do both. So we have to apply proportionality when we're helping our clients to make sure their needs are met. We're not overextending ourselves. One thing, you've probably heard this a lot. They send the lead in, you go, and they say, Terry, why'd you send the lead in? Well, in case something happens, I want to be protected. Okay. So what about you, Susie? Are you working? No, I'm not working. We just, in case, something happens to Bob, we're going to get protections on Bob. I said, well, so what do you do, Susie? Well, I'm a stay-at-home mom. How old are your kids? Oh, they're 6 and 8. Okay. So what if, Susie, you're the one not to come home? How does that affect you, Bob? How long is your work going to allow you to stay out of the job before they fire you or force you to come back? Don't you have a duty to take care of your children while they're grieving for their lost mother? So it sounds to me like you both need coverage, because isn't the non-working spouse equally as important, maybe even more so, than the working spouse? So we have to dig deep. We have to find out. And we're protecting the other innocents. They didn't even think of it. It's our job to protect them. Children's policies, non-working spouses, anything like that, that's our job as professionals, to protect the innocent who can't protect themselves. We never, ever leave a teammate behind. No mission is ever complete in the military until everyone comes home. We don't even leave our dead on the battlefield. Everybody comes home at all costs. In 2007, just south of Baghdad, I was shot down. You can look it up. It was all over the news that year, on July 2nd. But when I was hiding in the canal and they were shooting at us, the one thing I knew for absolute certain is that I was not alone. I could hear jets coming, other helicopters, and the entire battlefield stopped what they were doing to come save me and my co-pilot. Because we don't leave anybody behind, ever. And so I knew I just had to hang on long enough, just hide in that canal, hang on long enough with the enemy surrounding us until help would come. And I knew without a shadow of a doubt it was going to come. And it did. And the enemy knew too, because they stayed for a very short time. They messed with us, were shooting at us, and they left. They knew help was coming, and they knew it was coming with fury. If they stuck around long enough, they were not going to make it out. So that's what in the military, we don't leave anybody behind, and it's comforting to know that we have that here. When I found the Alliance, it's that same camaraderie that we have in the military, that I know that everybody here has my back. I'm not out helping people by myself. I can call any number of people. We can call Gina Hawks, anybody. We can say, hey, I need help. Please help me. And there will be no shortage of people to bend over backwards to help you. That's what we have here, and it doesn't exist out there in corporate America. We engage until the mission is complete. So in the military, we do not stop advancing. We don't stop fighting until the enemy is decimated, until they've lost their ability to fight back. We don't produce unnecessary suffering, but at the same time, you don't stop until that mission is complete. So what does that mean here? We don't leave families unprotected. So you go into a house, you listen to their surfacey whatevers, and they want to think about it. That's okay, and you leave. What have you done? You've left them unprotected. You didn't complete the mission. So not only have you not done your mission, you've left them unprotected too. We just broke a major, major rule of engagement. So that's where we also, when we overpromise, underdeliver, don't follow through, that's where chargebacks come from. That's where the bad things happen, because we didn't do what we were supposed to do. So remember that for the rule of engagement there. We're going to trust our chain of command, those who came before us, those who've had success, those who wrote the books that we're supposed to be reading and the plans we're supposed to be following. We trust our chain of command, because success comes from discipline plus that command. If we didn't have a chain of command, if we didn't have people to help us that had come before, we would just be a ragtag band of rogues, just doing whatever. So we have to trust our chain of command, and we have to support them in every way we can. Obedience to lawful orders. So what lawful orders do we have here? ATM. One of the biggest times I was not selling and I wasn't producing because I wasn't following the ATM. I wasn't following the procedures that were laid out for me to follow. I tried to do it my own way. My production slipped. We have procedures for a reason. We follow them because they've been tested in battle. Hotspots. Are we going to hotspots? You guys are here at the conference. How many people are not here? How many people would be better had they come? We're not following our chain of command. The whole chain of command is here. They come to every single one. I see a lot of faces that aren't here that I saw last time. Follow their example. And the 8 steps to success. Are you following those lawful orders? Read, personal use, all the rest of them. Are you following? Those are orders to make you successful. Situational awareness. This is a tough one. Because too often we get blinders on and we're just focused on this one thing and we never saw the sucker punch coming from the right field. So when we're clearing a room, as point man, my job is to focus on anything in front of us. Number 2, their job is to protect my flank. 3, our left flank and rear, they're right up against us as we're moving, making sure nobody surprises us from behind. It's 360-degree awareness. Do you have that in your business? Like what's coming up that you had no idea what's happening? Did you submit a policy without asking all the questions and you're surprised that they canceled it? You didn't have awareness. So we have to apply this in our lives and our businesses too. And so I was a scout helicopter pilot, and so we would fly as a scout weapons team. Lead was usually lower and up front, looking and scouting and trying to find whatever it is we were trying to look for. Trail was typically higher and above A to protect lead and have a bigger picture of everything that's going on. So what are you doing to set yourself up for success that you have 360-degree vision of whatever it is you're doing, recruiting, selling, building? So with that, we're going to go to number 8. We're going to communicate clearly and constantly. We have to communicate. So on the battlefield, as a recon asset, I was the eyes and ears for the commander. The commander can't be everywhere, so we would fly, and I would constantly update the ground commander on what we saw, what was going on, anything out of order, out of place. That was our job, was to make sure the commander stayed informed. Are you doing that for your clients? Are you doing annual reviews? Do you do a policy follow-up after you put the policy in place just to make sure they're okay? And we wonder why we have chargebacks. We're not communicating, right? So you be the eyes and ears of your clients. Be that recon element. Find new things that are going to work for them. Go back. Hey, I didn't write you a critical illness. You told me you had cancer in the family. I'm really concerned. Let's go over that. Be their eyes and ears. Be their reconnaissance. Number 9, we're going to adapt and overcome.
That's right.
As you saw with the video, no plan survives first contact. So we're just going to roll with it. But in the military, we practice and practice, but we have a plan and we know it's not going to be perfect and it's not always going to go the best way, but at least we have a point from which to depart. So we have a plan and we also execute contingency planning. So we know that if this happens, we're going to do this. There's 2 things that we always knew going into an operation. One was the enemy's most likely course of action. Number 2 was the enemy's most dangerous course of action. So if we showed up supporting ground forces that were going into a village to take a bad guy out, aviation shows up. Typically, the most likely course of action is the enemy's just going to go hide because they don't want aviation to see them. That's the most likely. The most dangerous is if they coordinate a massive attack and try to take that aviation asset out, because that stops the whole battlefield. That's the most dangerous course of action. So when we are going through our business and our daily lives in this industry, what's the most likely course of action? What's the objection you're most likely going to get? What's the objection that's going to make you crumble and lose all your words? That's the most dangerous course of action. You know it's coming. Be prepared for it. Plan it. Rehearse it. So here, We do that by knowing the products. We started out with Legacy Safeguard a couple years ago, which is a great free estate planning tool. Now we have wills and trusts through integrated trust systems. Know your products, and so I know if somebody's under the probate threshold and they don't have a lot of assets, I'm writing them Legacy Safeguard. If they're above the probate threshold and they have more assets, we're going to have a discussion about how to properly protect that with the legal team we partnered with. Know how to protect them and adapt and overcome to the situation. Number 10, we are going to always uphold honor and integrity, especially under fire. When the rounds are flying and you're scared, it's very easy to lose all control and all discipline. But that's when you have to have it the most. So what happens here when things start going bad? Do you start bad-mouthing the alliance or the people around you? Who do you become when you are most uncomfortable? So we have to take a deep look at ourselves and surround ourselves with positive, strong people, because that's how we become positive, strong ourselves, right? So with that honor and integrity, our clients see it. The people around us see it. When you're recruiting, they see it. Your team sees it, and it's infectious. But so is the bad attitude. So you have to pick. It's a choice, very much a choice. You're going to uphold honor and integrity. You're going to have a good attitude. You're going to support the team. Or are you going to be one of the Debbie Downers? One of the ones that's responsible for people not coming to conference, or not doing their job, or not calling the leads, not showing up at the hot spots, or any of our training sessions. You can pick which one you want to be. So perfidy is actually in the laws of war, and it's deceitfulness or untrustworthiness. Do you act with perfidy? I mean, if you can't answer that yourself, ask around. If you find somebody that's going to tell you you are, then that's a good person to talk to. At least they're honest with you. So act with humility also. It's okay to say you don't know. I don't know. Or I need help. I would love to do this, but I don't know where to start. Who should I talk to? What should I be doing better? With a little bit of humility, you'll go a lot farther in life. So to recap with that, there's many, many more, but these are the most important ones. That if we can identify, know the targets, communicate, if you can apply the military rules of engagement and the laws of war to your life and your business, you'll be much better off. So, here in closing, I'm going to see if this actually works or not. So these rules of engagement, they kept me alive in combat. And if we could just take what we learned in the military and apply it to our lives and our businesses, we'll be so much further along. That one's not me. However, I'd like you guys to take a second and just look around. You can look around, it's okay. You're surrounded by the best. Each of you chose to show up, to train and to sharpen your skills. You chose to take your place at the front lines to protect families across the country, and every one of you are the best. When I wore this uniform in the Army as a helicopter pilot, I learned something that's never left me, even in the toughest of times. In the darkest of nights, when failure just wasn't an option, it was not the aircraft and it was not the equipment that got us home. It was teamwork. That's what got us home every time. It's a commitment that no matter how bad things get, we never ever leave anybody behind. And we always work together to go to that next goal. But make no mistake, this uniform may be retired, but the lessons in being alive every single day. The discipline to prepare, the courage to step into uncertainty, and the humility to say that I can't do it alone. These same lessons will apply to you, and basically, it's going to decide whether your business is victorious or it dies on the battlefield. In combat, no mission is won by a single person. And in business, no dream is built by one person either. You need your team, you need your support staff, you need your mentors. The same spirit is what the Alliance is actually built on. Each of you is on a mission, and take my word for it, we are all very lucky that our mission is not actually carried out on a battlefield. But it is carried out in living rooms, across kitchen tables, and in one-on-one conversations with people who need our help. So when you sit with a client, you're not just filling out a policy, you're actually protecting a legacy, their security, and their future. Because that's not casual work, ladies and gentlemen, that is combat level commitment. Now this weekend you're gonna hear strategies, training, breakthroughs, all these things are gonna change your business. The real power isn't in the speakers up here, it's in everybody around you. The power of the team. So they say a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, but here's what I know. The alliance doesn't have weak links because we carry each other and pick each other up, okay? But let me be clear, success in business, like success in life, demands perseverance. You will get hit, you will face obstacles, and you will have days when quitting seems like the easy option. But we don't quit, we don't retreat, we adapt, overcome, and we finish the mission. That's what we do here in the Alliance. And those mindsets are not optional. They're required. It's the difference between being average or extraordinary. And that's what we are here in the Alliance, is extraordinary. It's the difference between agents who talk about success and those who actually live it. And you're here because you're not average. None of you are. You're here because you're the best of the best. So as we launch into this boot camp, I challenge you, commit to the training, commit to your teammates, and commit to fighting for the families who are counting on you, and treat every appointment like a mission. Treat every client like someone whose future depends on you, because they do. Treat your business like your combat, because you are in combat with your business. We are fighting poverty, we're fighting death. This is your moment, this is your unit, this is your mission. Welcome to National Boot Camp.